So my general approach to this project was to reduce the traffic simulation down to its most basic form. And I did that through various drawings. And then I wrote out all the inputs, all the outputs. So I did that, wrote out the behavior according to various inputs, and then I created a FSM bubble design. But upon looking on that, I realized that I didn't include enough states and that it was generally not descriptive of the desired behavior. So I created a second draft and I created a state transition table right here. Basically just showing how the inputs relate to the next state logic. And as you can see from this legend, I encoded the bits and I created Boolean equations from that. And I can be seen right here. And this is a little legend to relate the actual input names to the variables I assigned to those names. So I got those equations and I minimized them. And I also did that for the outputs and how they would relate to the encoded states. And I minimized those equations. And from there, I created the simulation. So it initially starts out at its base state with Academic Avenue having a green light and Bravado Boulevard having a red light. When no traffic is flowing, this thing is trying to go to the next state. So I'm going to start off with a busy day with full traffic. And as you can see, when there's traffic on Academic Avenue, that this green light stays on. And this green light will stay on, or rather, this state will be the same, so long as TA East Left and TA East Right, or TA West Left and TA West Right are on. If that condition fails, then it will go to the next state. So I'm going to run through the different input values to show how they would relate to different next state. So when this condition fails, it will go on to the next state, which is a yellow light. So in this transition state, it really doesn't care about the inputs, and it will go to the next state regardless of the inputs. And this next state is Academic Avenue having a green arrow to turn onto Bravado Boulevard. And this will be on so long as TA West Right and TA North Up are high, or TA East Left and TA South Down are high. So I'm just going to get rid of these to remove confusion through while transitioning states. So now I'm going to show the different states and how they relate to different next state behavior. So when this condition fails, it will move on to the next state, which is Bravado Boulevard having a green light. And this will remain on this state so long as TB north up and TB north down are high, or TB south up and TB south down are high. So when this condition fails, it will move on to the next state. And I'm going to run through the different inputs that would relate to next state behavior. So as you can see, when this condition fails, it will move on to the next state, which is a yellow light, which is basically a don't care, and it will move on to the next state pretty much regardless of the input. And that next state is Bravado Boulevard having a green arrow to turn onto Academic Avenue. And this will be on so long as TB south up and TA west left are high, or TB north down and TA east right are high. I'm going to run through different inputs to show how the next state behavior would change. So when this condition fails, it will move on to the original state, or the base state, Academic Avenue having a green light, and that is my simulation.